Hi, scholars. So this module, actually last week, you were asked to describe a subcultural group of which you are a member. And you'll recall in the lecture notes, I described my subcultural group, at least one of them of which I'm a member, the naturalista community or the natural hair community. And so I'm just giving you a multimedia presentation of that now. And you can do this too in your culture assignment. And you're asked in that assignment to describe the beliefs, practices, jargon, and material culture of a subcultural group of which you are a member. So let me start with giving some of the beliefs, practices, material culture, and jargon of the natural hair community of which I am a member. So I'm going to be looking at my notes here from time to time. So let's start with beliefs. So members of the natural hair community believe that hair in its natural state, that is not chemically processed, not heat processed, is the healthiest and most desirable state of the hair. Secondly, hair in its natural state is inherently beautiful. Another belief, hair in its natural state can be beautifully styled, maintained, and hair in its natural state, that is hair as it grows out from your scalp, not chemically processed, not heat processed, can flourish and grow. And one other, chemical and heat damage the hair, sometimes irreparably. So those are some 4 beliefs of those in the natural hair community. Hair in its natural state, not chemically or heat processed, is the healthiest and most desirable state of the hair. Hair in its natural state is inherently beautiful, and hair in its natural state can be styled, can be beautifully styled, maintained, and can flourish and grow. And chemicals and heat damage the hair, sometimes irreparably. What about some practices? There are a few practices that I want to bring up for you. Wash and go is a practice, and that's where a person washes their hair and condition it, and then they may style it with maybe some gel or a leave-in conditioner, and they're gone. Not sitting under a dryer, not blow drying the hair. Wash it, conditioner, maybe some kind of styler, and go. So wash and go is one of the practices. Another practice is something called protective styles, and that's where a person with their natural hair that's non-chemically treated, non-heat treated hair will use maybe braids or some hair extensions that go into their natural hair in order to preserve their natural hair or to manipulate their natural hair less often. So those protective styles like wigs and braids and extensions are used so that the person with the natural hair does not manipulate that natural hair as much. Over manipulating the hair can lead to damage and breakage. So protective styles, that's another practice. Wash day is another practice. Wash day can be a long ordeal. Some people with natural hair, especially with afro texture hair like mine, can experience in their hair extreme tangling. So it can take a long time, sometimes some hours, depending on the length of the hair, to wash that hair, to detangle it, to condition it, to deep condition it. So wash day is a whole practice. And lastly, there's another practice, and there are many others, but I'm just going over a few, called oiling the scalp. And that's where those in the natural hair community will put some kind of oil on their scalp, maybe olive oil, maybe avocado oil, grapeseed oil, some type of oil on the scalp to promote growth of the scalp and keep the scalp well lubricated. All right, and then let's go to, so those are some practices. You got your wash and go, your protective styles, wash day, and oiling the scalp. Material culture. I have some things here. This is big in the natural hair community. Things like this. This is a satin scarf. And this is used at bedtime to keep the hair from drying, from snagging on sheets, maybe the sheets, if the sheets are cotton. It can also, those cotton sheets and those other materials like cotton can take the moisture out of hair. And so these satin scarves are used to maintain moisture in the hair and to keep the moisture inside the hair. So these are good to wear at bedtime, and they're good, and they can also be used just as a style. You know, tie it in a fancy way and wear it as a style. We have this for material culture. This is called an edge scarf. Sometimes those in the natural community will like to style those little hairs in the front. They're called baby hairs. That's some more jargon for you. So they style those baby hairs in the front with some gel. This is part of the material culture as well. Gel is big in the natural hair community for some. Some don't like gel because it can be drying. Some types of gel, especially those with alcohol. But I don't believe this, this Eco Styler does not have alcohol in it. It's alcohol free. So it's naturalista friendly. Alcohol can be very drying. So you put some gel on those little hairs and you use this edge scarf and you tie it down and you let it sit for a few minutes so the edges can lay flat. Good to go. All right, and last but not least, we have covered the beliefs. We've covered practices. We've covered material culture. Now to the jargon. And you will notice that a lot of the jargon, the words that are peculiar to this subcultural group, are also practices. Like I mentioned, wash and go as a practice. That's also part of the jargon, part of the lexicon, part of the language of those in the natural hair community. Lock method, which stands for liquid, oil, and conditioner, I believe, or maybe lotion, oil, and conditioner. And it's a way to maintain moisture in the hair. So lock method, wash and go. Then we have wash day, and I talked about wash day earlier. And then protective style. Those are all words, part of the lexicon in the natural hair community. So I enjoyed sharing my subcultural group with you, the natural hair community. I look forward to reading about and maybe even watching, if you decide to make a multimedia presentation like I have done here, of your subcultural group. I look forward to reading it or viewing it. All right, let me know if you have any questions. wlamar@southalabama.edu, and we'll talk to you soon.